And we are alive on the internet, I believe.
Alive is debatable.
It's a heavily debated term. Hello, guys.
Yo, bros.
What's up? It's Saturday night, and it's Demiplanes and Doodles night, and we are here. And I'm like awkwardly messing with my audio just to make sure that I'm not too loud. I need to learn to like not be super loud. So if, depending on how I sound, I'm still learning how mics work, how microphones work. I need to do proper recordings and audio tests with this thing still. But yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, welcome to Demiplanes and Doodles. I'm Vic. There's a Lynn somewhere in the walls. Gotta tap the broom.
No, not the broom. I don't like it.
I mean, stop chewing my wires then.
But they're tasty spaghetti. Danger noodles.
Danger noodles. See, you're shocking yourself. All right, so let's get this rolling. Yes, Jason says that the danger noodles are bad for your little teeth.
I had braces for like 4 years.
Oh God, 4 years? I can't. I think I had mine.
Yeah.
Hold on. 3rd grade, 4th grade,
Was
5th
it
grade,
2
6th
years?
grade,
It might have just been
7th grade. Yeah, mine was about 4 years too.
Yeah, I think it was 4 years.
Probably not the worst 4 years of my life, but certainly the most uncomfortable. On top of everything else in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had braces up until through middle school, that was just.
My parents were like, "Hey, we're gonna put you in braces, but you're gonna get them taken out your freshman year." But I had like this whole year of being a freshman where I had big old brace face, so that was fun.
Yeah, not that I'm gonna out anyone, but I knew somebody in high school who I think had braces up until then too.
Mm-hmm.
I will not say names. Otherwise, I'm gonna get hit.
Oh,
from the other room.
The cat. It's the cat.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's the cat. It's definitely the cat. Yeah, no, I was told in the 3rd grade, your teeth look bad. We're gonna fix those, and then I kept being told how expensive it was every time, and I'm like, thanks. I have no control over this. You're the ones making this decision in my life without me.
You're like, there's literally nothing I can do.
Yes. Ash says that instead of braces, there was an eye patch that was refused to be worn. That's interesting. It feels weird for me to. I feel like it's like out of line for me to say it, but I wish I had an eye patch. So I feel like an eye patch just adds so much mystery to you.
Ooh,
but then I feel like it's the one thing that like braces is like more along the lines of normal, but then like you have an eye patch and everyone has to ask you, why do you got an eye patch?
Yeah, but do you want that?
It had a butterfly on it?
Oh God, no.
Oh my gosh. It fit over the glasses? You had glasses?
I have glasses.
People wear glasses, as I say as I adjust my glasses.
I literally have glasses right now too.
I have my glasses, but they're not prescription. I have not perfect vision, but
it's like, oh, you've got beautiful eyes. Thanks, they don't work.
Thanks, they're broken. Fun anecdote for today. I was at work, and usually my go-to whenever I'm checking someone out at the register, it's like, okay, hi, is this all you're getting? Okay, what's your phone number for your rewards? All right, and then they put their card in, and the card reader usually, if 9 times out of 10, the person has a card that doesn't require a PIN, but the reader makes it have a PIN anyway. And so they're like, oh, what do I do for credit? And I'll say, oh, just press the red button. And so somebody came to the register today, and it was like, what do I do for credit? I'm like, just press the red button. They're like, yeah, I'm red-green colorblind. Which button is that? And I'm like, oh, shoot. Whoops. Press cancel, please.
The X?
Press the X button.
Usually, you know, that's the red one. I had a friend in high school who was red-green colorblind, and our teacher just did like all of his like notes in like a red marker on the whiteboard, and he just slowly raised his hands. He's like, I can't read any of that, thanks. Because apparently, like red and green against a whiteboard, it makes it basically invisible.
That's actually interesting to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a person that I used to get carpools from in college who was like, yeah, I'm red-green colorblind, and I'm like, and you're driving me?
Well, they know, like, when the street lights light up.
He didn't drive. They know the order. He certainly didn't drive like it.
Oh.
There would be times where if he's not paying attention, it's hard to tell. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna die. You're
only really screwed if you live in those, like, neighborhoods that have the street lights where they're horizontal and not vertical.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, sometimes they'll, like, hang them horizontal instead of up and down. I don't know. Apparently it's...
That's all of Texas.
Really? They're all horizontal?
They're all horizontal. I'll take a picture of my streetlight next time.
Another thing I found out that was weird whenever I travel is that in Kentucky, all of our street traffic lights are on wires, and I feel like no one else has that. They're all on like these like arms or like poles.
For the longest time in the county I was growing up in, back in Houston, they were all on wires, and then because we were having such bad hurricanes that would rip them off the wires, they started transferring them onto metal arms because it's like, this is dangerous. So go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and get our screen switched over so we can start doing our official announcements.
Oh, yeah.
Anecdote time is over. Hello, guys. Welcome to Saturday. I hope everyone's having a nice Saturday. If it's not a nice Saturday, I certainly hope it gets better. Let me get over to our beautiful art. There it is. Perfect.
Usually we do something relating to the topic, but not today.
I think it's kind of related.
How?
It's very quirky.
That's it? That's the only thing you got out of
that? Grayson has a whole pinky out, thank you.
He's classy.
It's very classy. Okay, yeah, so let's get in. We got, like, several announcements tonight, which is fun. As always, we've got our bros at Talon and Claw that create wonderful, beautiful wooden objects for your dice pleasures. This is Vic forgetting how words work and not choosing the right ones.
You're fired.
I'm 100% fired. Thanks. Good night, guys. So we'll take over everything from here. As we sit in silence for 4 hours while Lynn draws.
Yep.
So our friends Talon and Claw, they make dice vaults, dual hex dice vaults, and dice DM screens and dice trays. They have wooden dice that are going to be seen soon, and they also now have their Kickstarter that you can go check out if you go to their Twitter page, their Facebook page. They have they're making the single council of 7 dice vaults out of whiskey barrels. And I don't know about you, but I love whiskey barrels.
They're called staves.
Staves? You can take over from here, Lynn.
The only reason I know that is because, we have whiskey, like, everywhere.
Because you're from the land of whiskey?
Yes, I have a dog named Whiskey. I'm from the land of whiskey. The Bourbon Trail is, like, 20 minutes away from me.
That's so awesome.
I know.
Yes.
Never done it.
Yes, so, never done it? Well, When I get up there, you're gonna do it because I'm gonna want to do it.
Go to all of the bourbon things.
Do all the dumb tourist shit with me because that's all I'm gonna do when I'm up there.
We can go to Mammoth Cave and like go spelunking.
I love mammoths. There better be mammoths in that cave. I'll be very sad.
It's just giant caves.
Oh, that sounds fun. It's not like I'm in an adventure in the Underdark right now.
It is essentially the Underdark, yes.
Oh goodness, I'm gonna love every second of it.
They actually have a tour you can do in the middle of the night in the pitch black, where your only source of light is like a hand lantern.
I guarantee you, if I do that, I'm gonna cry through it. But let's do it.
You're gonna shit your pants.
I'm gonna shit my pants and cry through it. Thanks.
Be great.
I am not the bravest. I am not the bravest man. So.
Anyway,
so Town and Claus
sidetrack.
Nice little. So we digress. So check out Talon Claw's whiskey stave dice vaults. Yeah. That is on their Kickstarter right now, and the cat is currently trying to grab at a chain that's on the desk, and I need you to stop interrupting me, sir.
Speaking of chains.
Chains? Yes, there was a Shane. Let's talk about Shane. You want to talk about Shane? Let's talk about him. You go first.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro.
Need some VA work. Go hit up our bro.
Yes.
Shane. He is the voice of West.
Yes.
And we also have a lovely bro who is the voice of Alistair. So we actually have 2 voice actors who will be reading some scripts and doing some audio work for us for the Alistair comic.
Yes. It's going to be it's so exciting. I need to start writing for that. I need to throw more lines at Shane. I need to throw actual lines at Shane.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be... It's a wild adventure. Speaking of Alistair, we did a thing that showed up in patrons' emails today.
We did.
Yes, we did. So if you're a patron and on the Alistair Patreon, you would have received an email today with the next promo comic for the Alistair comic.
Jason.
Jason, shh, no spoilers. There is, for those of you that aren't. For those of you who are not a part of our Patreon, this is a really cryptic text that is showing up on the chat. But yeah, so we had a really interesting promo comic that hints towards specific characters that could show up in the comic at a later date. So if you want, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Our link is down below on the Twitch. You get access to our Discord where you get to hang out with us, chat. You get to role play some wild scenarios with whatever character you desire. We have a pirate one. We have a retail one if you feel like putting your own D&D character through retail hell. We also have group draw piles where we show up sometimes and we'll like draw on a draw pile and everybody either watches or participates, and it's a lot of fun. And overall, we're just having the best time over there. We just started a new channel where we're having people reach out to connect on art projects and support each other and be accountability buddies, or your accountability bro, to make sure that you are finishing that project that you need to finish. Always make sure.
We're all watching.
We're all watching. Make sure you have your accountability bro. And make sure to check out the Alistair Patreon. And make sure to check out Alistair on Webtoons. If you're not part of the Patreon, it's going to show up at some point in the future. The promo comic will show up at some point in the future on our Webtoon. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for Alistair in 2020 of August. What up?
We also have a special announcement that will happen Monday.
Special announcement! Oh my god! Stay tuned for Monday.
Monday's gonna be fun.
Shane says we're obviously teasing Grayson for Smash. That's his favorite word, thanks.
Smash.
Smash. Yes,
yeah.
I'd like to smash one.
One premium top shelf Smash, please.
Top shelf. So I'm only drinking milk, guys. Holy shit. I can't speak today. As I drink my mug of milk.
I feel like we should just replace Alistair's tea with milk.
It's just... No, he has a very specific tea.
Yes, he does. Which you can buy.
Which you can...
Also.
on Adagio Teas, where we get no monetary benefit of it. Just the fact that you get to have Alistair's tea.
Yes. Actually, exactly. I still have some in my cabinet. Thank you.
Fair. I feel like West's whiskey needs to be replaced with milk. If we have to censor this comic anymore, West is just going to be drinking milk all the time.
If we censor it, we'll move it somewhere else.
That's fair. That's fair.
Hey, if you're a patron, you'll get the uncensored versions.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, speaking of uncensored, we also have a Zesty tier as well. So if you want to check out any of the Patreon tiers, the Zesty tier is where you get all of the uncensored art.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun.
And it's only going to get better once more characters are involved.
Yes, once we're able to reveal more characters, it's gonna get so much zestier. We're like, Lynn and I are just like vibrating in excitement, just waiting for the day we can do this. There's only so many ways we can draw Alistair and or West.
The two most non-zesty characters.
The two most non-zesty characters. The two most wholesome boys. But hey, people like it, so we're drawing it.
Yes.
The things
it's not
we do.
Like we have a backlog.
No, it's not. We don't have a backlog. What are you talking about? Please delete the backlog right now, Lynn.
Oh God.
So let's get into it tonight. Tonight, thanks to our bros over in the Alistair Discord, they voted that we talk about quirky side characters tonight. And this title card has nothing to do with it. It was just us filling a page.
Yeah.
So, as I get to open my notes. Right.
And I'm gonna draw a quirky side character.
All right, draw a quirky side character. So, I mean, that comes into question of what constitutes as a side character in any kind of narrative, which I think it's harder to pin down, especially for if you're doing a narrative for a Dungeons & Dragons game, like what essentially counts as a side character for that.
I think the first side character I ever made as a DM was a kobold.
Yes, the classic kobold.
Oh wait, like I feel like they're always almost always a side character of some sort.
I mean, yeah, it's a good like first. I mean, it's a good first encounter to have, especially if you're starting out at level 1. Which who starts out at level 1 anymore?
Hey, I started out at level 1 at one point.
Look at you now. We've all started at level 1. And boy, was it a struggle. And then you become a DM and you're like, hey, you know what? Never again. Hey, what was that?
I'm working on it.
Okay, it's fine.
Jeez.
Just layer check, bro. Make sure you're on the right layer.
Judgy, you weren't even on the right layer.
I was not. Thank
sir.
You for...
You were on the line layer.
I was, and I switched it over.
Uh-huh.
I am now on sketch layer, thank you.
But, back to quirky side characters. His name was Moof.
Moof
the Meek.
Oh, he's so cute, thanks.
And, he was, I guess, the first, quirky side character I made, because I had no intention of ever, like, playing him as, like, a PC in any other game or anything like that. He was, all his job is to ferry the characters across, like, a lake. And, that was his only job, but it was the characters that were like, we're gonna keep him.
We're gonna keep.
And I think that's what a good idea of what like a quirky side character is like someone who wasn't intentional, but the characters are like, you know what? He's ours now. We're adopting him.
He's ours. Yeah.
What are you making over there?
I'm drawing a side character of mine that kind of got out of control at one point.
All of them?
Besides all of them. I'm a writer. What can I do?
All of them.
All of them. So, Stranger was essentially a side character in a D&D game that I was using to kind of... I was using him kind of, as some DMs do, as a buffer for people, especially players that are new to the game and aren't quite sure how to navigate it, how to role play through the game, like the whole mechanics and the whole concept of Dungeons and Dragons being like a completely new thing. So I had a kind of whenever you load up into an MMO and you have that one character that approaches you and takes you through the tutorial. Essentially that character.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at that kind of idea.
That's essentially how I treated it, because I had players that, well, essentially all of my players were new to Dungeons and Dragons, in the way of I had 3 of them that had never played it before. Well, I had 2 of them that had never played it before. One of them who was playing Pathfinder with their boyfriend, and that was all they knew. And they didn't get very far in Pathfinder.
You always rag on this person.
Look. I'm just saying that they played Pathfinder. I'm not saying anything else. I saved that for reroll, thank you.
Fair.
So, I mean, I'm just essentially saying that they all didn't have much experience playing Dungeons & Dragons, especially 5th edition. Because the one person that played only played Pathfinder with their boyfriend. They didn't get very far in their campaign, so the mechanics were lost on them. The boyfriend, having played Pathfinder for, years and years and years, and you didn't understand how 5th edition works. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take this character as a chance to walk you guys through this shit. And he was essentially supposed to be kind of the aloof asshole that just was like, yeah, I'm here. I guess I'll help you guys. And then he just slowly morphed into something else, and I don't know how it happened or why, but here we are. And so the stranger was essentially created as an NPC, and he was a weird one.
And now look at him. Yeah, he's got anxiety.
Yeah, he's got anxiety. Yeah, that's what happens when I try to write a character a story. They end up with anxiety. I can't help it.
I mean,
I 100% cannot help it.
I think we're gonna just take away all of these from you.
No, please don't. I need them. They're cheaper than therapy. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna re-chat for a minute. Shane says we're gonna play at 4 for Tuesday. Still super excited. I'm super excited about Tuesday. Like, I literally logged into Discord, and the first thing I asked Lynn was like, Lynn, are you ready for Tuesday? Tuesday! Oh god, we're playing a D&D game on Tuesday. Oh my god. We were so excited. Gogmert the Goblin. I need you to describe... Okay. I need you to describe Gogmert to me in great detail, because I need art of him. I also need Sam Smarkle. Thank you. I need both Gogmert and Gogmert and Smarkle. I just love the name Smarkle. I'm drawing those boys next. Yeah, I don't know. Stranger, that's not how an eyebrow works. Yeah, Stranger just kind of came about from me trying to give him a story in case people wanted to explore it, and I was like, well, this is who he is, and this explains why he can do the things he does. And it was essentially he was a tiefling of noble birth who came from Waterdeep. And
you and your noble tiefling.
Listen.
I'm calling you out.
I quit. It's not my fault.
I'm not to blame.
It's not... You are entirely to blame.
What did I do? I didn't do nothing.
You gave me more of them.
And whose decision was that?
It was a consenting decision. It was a mutual agreement between 2 consenting adults.
Adults. Oh, look at this.
Chat says that they're always listening. I know that's the problem. Anyway, so he's of noble birth, but it's not like he got any of the perks of it.
Fair.
Because he was, essentially his childhood was, I'm of noble birth, but, I spent like 90% of my childhood locked in a closet. Also, 90% of my childhood was, maybe like that's all he had. Because from that point, he made a pact with Dendar the Night Serpent. Dendar took him, made him one of her agents, and because of that, he inexplicably aged 30 years and has been walking around ever since as he is.
You know what I'm gonna say.
What are you gonna say, Lynn?
That sounds very similar.
Similar to
what? The aging. The aging situation.
That's
from Horde.
Are you calling me a hack writer?
No, not at all.
Are you saying that I only have one type of thing I like to write?
No, because I know what you're writing for the comic. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna age West by 100 years. Thank you.
Man, West being old is a weird concept.
It's a weird concept for me because I have fully stated that he probably, canonly in campaign, he probably won't live past 40.
Because he'll kill himself or his liver will just give out.
Either his liver's going to give out or he's going to find something one day that is going to actually put an end to him. Or he's going to chase this red herring until the day he dies. Because he thinks it's helping. He's going to help the wrong person because that's what he likes to do. He likes to help, and he's going to get double-crossed on that, thinking that he's helping someone, and that's how he dies.
Honestly, that's probably how
it's going to happen, and I'm imagining, as I'm reading the chat, new Divine and Conquer rule. No more noble tieflings. We need to make new characters. Jesus says as he's making stats at the moment. Jesus, you got another noble tiefling you want to talk about? We could talk about noble tieflings all night.
That should be its own D&D Demiplanes stream.
Noble tieflings.
We're gonna talk about noble tieflings and why we love them.
Cole's not a noble. Cole, you better not have taken the noble background.
No, he didn't.
Okay, good.
He's not a noble.
Good.
Who asked?
Because I'm being told that noble tieflings aren't allowed anymore in Divine and Conquer.
Cole's not a noble.
Good.
Who said that?
No, I was wondering. I was like, Cole, you better not take the noble background. That's why I'm getting barred from noble tieflings.
Who said no noble tieflings? Our DM?
Our boss, yes.
Cole's not a noble.
I know he's not. He's a nerd. He took the nerd background. Took the background of nerd.
Leave my boy alone.
No, I will not. He's a nerd. Hi, you got any side character adventures you want to talk about?
Like what?
I don't know. I'm talking about the one that I made for your first one of your first campaigns.
Which one?
What? You have nothing to say to him?
What can I say about Stranger?
That
sounds like a song.
What can I say about Stranger?
that is a bard song, yes. Oh god,
a lot.
Drawpile just wants to act up on me.
Oh, it was doing it to me too.
Drawpile, you're such a wonderful program. A wonderful free program that lets you draw with your friends.
It's great.
My first campaign, my first time doing Horde of the Dragon Queen. Stranger was cool. I enjoyed Stranger.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what happened to him.
He did his own damn thing.
No, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what happened to him character-wise. I know what happened to him in the current game. Which nobody pursued that, and I thought that was funny.
Maybe we can.
I mean, if you want to, you don't have to do anything. It's your game. And you currently have another tiefling to rescue.
Yeah. Let's get the baby boy back first.
He's fine.
Oh god, I just realized that we've got Monday and Tuesday.
He's fine.
Says you.
Yeah, he's fine. Don't worry about him.
I hate this.
I worry about him.
He's fine. He's doing great. I forgot how red I had in Stranger.
Hey, Dick.
Hey, what?
Yay or nay?
Yay or nay? Oh, So what?
No.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna save it for later.
Was it good or?
Okay, let me go and read chat. Alright, let's see. Jason says that West's heart will give out from... his heart will give out, or hydration from his tears.
Jeez!
Oh my god. Dehydration from his tears. Oh my god. Benny the Trinket... Okay, I've been told about a quirky NPC, which is Benny the Trinket Trader.
Oh, I know Benny.
Oh, Benny! You've told me about Benny. With his terrible skin condition. I don't know if I'm capable of drawing such an awful condition. I love hearing about Benny. Color this boy in.
I should do like a realistic Benny, since I love drawing like skeletons and stuff. That'd be cool.
He's a normal person with a skin condition.
Correct.
But yeah, I'd say you have the practice in anatomy. Definitely go for it. Have him look like that, like the age-old, like traditional, like portraiture.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I really want to learn how to do that.
Oh yeah, those are so cool.
They're so neat. Have you ever seen those like portraits that you can get of like your pets in like general painting style?
I am not ashamed to admit that I have been dying to get one of Champ.
The thing is though, like I've seen some like good ones, but I've also seen some like ones that are clearly just Photoshop.
Yeah,
and it makes me sad.
Yeah,
I want
true.
like actual physically painted.
Yeah, it's like I want to see the texture of the paint on that canvas, please and thanks.
Yeah. Because like sometimes on Facebook I'll see like ads for it, and I'm like,
I see the ones for the blankets.
Put some effort into it.
I see the ones for the blankets, and I'm like so tempted because I really want a blanket. And they're like, look at this blanket, and it's like literally the size of the woman, and I'm like, I need.
If you wish hard enough, Wish will just start the advertisements for you.
I've seen the Wish advertisements I've received, and no thank you. I don't know where they got that from.
It's the most bizarre thing. Some of the things I get sent.
They need to stop reading my Discord DMs, that's for sure. Not that I type anything weird on Discord.
No.
No, never. All we talk about on Discord is the Alistair comic.
We do. Oh.
Nope. Accidentally made a lip. Actually, I'll stick with it. Also, Stranger never sleeps.
Well, that comes with his patron, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, because his patron's Dendar the Night Serpent, so it's like, oh, you're constantly absorbing everyone's nightmares, like, you know, like a dream catcher. It's like, cool, I will never sleep again. So it's like everyone around him has, like, nightmares in, like, prophetic dreams related to whatever the fuck their storyline is, and Stranger's just there absorbing it all. Like, yeah, this sucks.
Him and Rocco would get along.
Right?
Oof.
He took one look at Grayson's dreams and he was just like, yeah, your shit's fucked up, bro.
Like, thanks.
Thanks. I have no idea what you're talking about. There we go. I also like putting them in purple.
Because it's a noble color.
Purple's just my favorite color. There, yeah. Now I do it like this.
Moof was just bullied.
Aww. Move. Poor Move.
Oh yeah, he was bullied by the other big ones.
Poor Move. Oh, dog, don't you do it. He wants to have an opinion. Oh my goodness. Please hold while I wait for my dog to start screaming. Champ, go lay down. Go lay down. Okay, I'm gonna go read chat. Okay, so I have told you this story before. Okay, so this is from Boisterous Bard. I've told you the story before, I believe. Party encounters him outside of a goblin stronghold in the woods. They actually met his animal companion first and slaughtered it. Oh no! The party...
Whoopsies.
Whoopsie daisies! The party spares the goblin, who is distraught from the loss of his companion, and move on with a bit of information. Upon the return, they run into Gogmert again, but he's in change. Oh, being let out by slavers. My character, Freya, purchased him and then freed him to travel with them if he wished. Later, he became a bard and befriended her brother when my character died. Oh!
That's precious.
Shane has another line for Grayson. Stranger sees Grayson's dreams. Wow, you've gone through some legit trauma. I'm a noble. It comes with the pedigree.
Yep.
Oh, amazing. Oh my god, I'm gonna play, like, the one not traumatized noble. I realize I'm gonna be
on Tuesdays?
On Tuesday, I'm gonna be playing a not traumatized noble. Surprisingly, he's well adjusted. Yeah. Phoebus is Phoebus.
I mean, being born was probably
it's the most
trauma he's going. Yeah, you can't really top that, so.
Yeah, he really can't top that, and he doesn't even remember it. Which, considering coming from that backstory to now having a +1 constitution, I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of that boy. Good job, baby. All that tender love and care he got.
He got his constitution.
A whole +1.
Well, I think Grayson has a +1. I think he has a +2.
Oh wow! So he leaned more onto Grayson's side, but just not as much because weak constitution.
Ugh, poor thing.
Poor thing. Xavier's the one that got the other constitution.
Yeah, he did.
So, like I said, he's fine.
Both of those are side characters, or would you consider them not?
Well, now I can't consider Phoebus a side character because, in my campaign, he would be considered a minor character because he is present, but he doesn't have any arcs to go through. Whereas a side character kind of falls into like some categories of whether they're a supporting character, which they are not a part of the main cast nor labeled as a protagonist, but they are there consistently and have their own subplots that are followed through the story. Whereas a minor character occasionally shows up every once in a while, but doesn't really change much through the course of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not much of an arc happening for them.
But he was made to be a side character?
Xavier or Phoebus?
Phoebus. Actually, both of them.
Yeah, both of them were technically made to be side characters. There.
Little one.
As I read chat some more. From Jesus, what are you talking about? Dis is well adjusted? Depends on who you ask. I mean, most people don't live long enough to have an opinion on it. Wes thinks he's fine. Wes thinks he's a misunderstood guy. And he's gonna do what he can to help him. As the entire world is silent. Just like, sure, buddy. Oh, he's so cute. He's
doing his best.
He's doing his best. I believe in him. And save. Okay. Okay. Oh, I forgot you did your highlight. Gosh.
I gotta do my highlight.
I know you gotta do your highlight.
My brand.
Your brand.
My brand.
Excuse me, let me just... Well, that's the wrong color. My color did not change. There it is.
Yes. Good.
Yeah, there we go. And, oh, save.
I'm saving as well.
Boop. Boop. Yes. Flatten. As Shortbreed says, Benny's subplot in The Curse of Strahd was his constant evasion of the pack of werewolves in Barovia trying to make him a chew toy. Oh!
Oh no!
Whenever he meets new people, he always hides and asks if they're werewolves before approaching. Oh! Alright, I'm gonna delete this. Boop. 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 Oh. We didn't layer check.
Who's we?
All of us.
What do we do?
We colored in the sketch layer instead of the color layer.
Oops.
Whoops!
Whoopsies.
Whoopsie daisies.
So, what are the 4 character types?
4 character types. I have that written on my phone. Oh no, people need to stop texting me while I'm streaming. Allow me to pull this up. I was also reading up. Okay, so the 4 character types. At least when it comes to writing. There are 4 character types in fiction as, so 4 character types in fiction. You have the dynamic character, a character that experiences a change in either their outlook or personality. This form of change can either be one that is simple to see, or could be one that happens subtly to the point where it's hard to detect when the change started. 2 is the flat character. A character who is flat is one that displays a few personality traits and does not experience change within the story. They don't have any layers to them. Everything about them can be seen on the surface. So they're just characters made for face value and for, you know, world filler, I would say. They aren't fully fleshed out, and they're not made to impact the story. You have...
Yes, go on.
That's a very impactful character you got there.
Thank you.
Then you have the static character. Static characters are characters who don't develop at all during a story, and then you have the round character. Round characters are characters who are fully fleshed out. These characters have distinct personality, backgrounds, motives, and flaws. No, you're a very flat character from the looks of it. You only have one emotion. So those are the 4 character types of fictional writing.
I think my problem is that I make side characters or NPCs, but in order to make them interesting NPCs and side characters, you have to make them a round character.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like it falls within, I guess, the philosophy of the person who's writing them and creating them. If you kind of go through, I guess, life with the idea that we're all main characters in our own narrative, so everybody who appears as a side character actually has their own life and their own narrative that they are following that you just don't see because you're not present for it. Mm-hmm. So it's the same could be said about side characters. Like, if I was in a show, like if I was like looking at a TV show and I would like point at a random character, I'd be like, I want to know their story and just what the fuck's going on in their lives.
Mm-hmm. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the movie 13 Ghosts. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
It's
I think I know what you're talking about,
campy. It's a really campy movie about like this house, and there are 13 ghosts locked inside of it, or 12 or something. I don't know. And like the family is like stuck inside of it, and they have to like do, I don't know, the ghosts get released or whatever. But the thing about it is that the ghosts had really awesome designs. And each one had their own backstory, but it was never really talked about in the movie. But you could go online and find out like this gigantic like backstory of each and every single one of them. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm awesome.
He's awesome. He's got an awesome design. He's got a mustache.
But why does he have the mustache?
Yeah, that's why you have to dig deeper into his backstory to find out why he's a ghost with a mustache. It's a handlebar, so he has personality.
Yeah. I don't know, like that's just kind of what it reminds me of, because the ghosts, like, they were there, they were just like, they looked really cool. Like, one was a prom queen, and one was like a giant beast of a man who had a hammer. And there was one that was called the Jekyll, who was like in a straitjacket that had like a cage on his head. And everyone, like, I remember just being like, who are these people? Like, why did all these things? And then I Googled it, and apparently you could go to their website and be like, oh, here's their biographies of every single ghost and, like, how they died and why they look the way they do.
That's so wild.
And, like, how they fit into what kind of ghost they're supposed to be.
I'm never going to watch it, but I'm just going to go read all of those biographies.
It's really cool. Like, I like their backstories of, like, why, whatever. But that's what it reminds me of, because like you don't have to narrative-wise tell their backstories up front and be, you know, that guy in the movie that's like exposition, and then just dumps it on you, and you're just like,
I love me a good info dump. Love it. I love to know everything that's happening within the 2 hours that I have to watch this movie. Just spend a good 10 minutes of those 2 hours just telling me everything that I need to know, and just watch me fall asleep.
I don't know if I've become more sensitive to it or something, but I can always just kind of pick it out very easily. I'm just like, dude. Like when I was watching the show earlier this morning.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, don't you know? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Like you've lived in this world for your entire life, but you've conveniently forgot why birds can't fly.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it when it's I don't know if that's a way of
Forced exposition.
It's forced exposition. It's which I'm trying to think back on the on the one thing that that we're gonna watch party at some point. I feel like narratively there's a good reason if there is an info dump, there's actually a good reason for it to happen. But I don't think I've ever had to sit through a whole by the way, this is because this and this and this, and then they're spending like 5 minutes telling you everything that they already should know as characters in the world.
Yeah. It's funny, though, because I was actually watching, there's a Netflix series, I don't remember what it was called, but it goes into how these famous 80s movies were made.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I just happened to be watching the Ghostbusters episode. And they were just talking about how they made the movie Ghostbusters, all the problems they had with like making it and trying to get the title and stuff like that. And one of the writers was like, when you have such a bizarre or weird world, you need to have someone who has no idea what's going on come into it so they can be like the person that asks all the questions the audience is asking.
Yes.
And not have it feel so forced.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about for the one show.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
Because it's like, oh, yeah, you weren't there. So here's what happened.
I hate it when like characters that have lived their whole lives are just like, oh yeah, exposition.
Exposition.
What is that from? What is that from?
It was from a Nostalgia Critic review.
It was a critic.
Yeah.
Yep, Nostalgia Critic. That's what I thought. My cousin met the Nostalgia Critic. Like,
oh my god!
Crew. I know.
I can't imagine what that's like.
I've been binge watching Lindsay Ellis a lot too.
Oh my god! Yeah, Lindsay Ellis has been showing up a lot on my YouTube feed, so I need
it's
stuff to
because
listen
I've been
to.
watching her probably.
Lynn, get the hell off my YouTube.
No, I actually recently watched the Rent one, and I thought of you.
Oh, that makes me happy.
And there's also, have you watched her video where it's My Boyfriend's a Monster?
Oh no. I don't think I have.
I need to watch that one as well, but I saw it in my feed and I'm like, oh no.
Oh. Yeah, so that's why Lindsay Ellis is showing up on my YouTube, because you're stealing my YouTube and watching all the Lindsay Ellis. So apologies that you had to wade through all the DuckTales theory videos.
DuckTales.
Woo!
I recently showed John the video of Brendon Urie singing the DuckTales theme.
I love that video. Brings me so much joy in my life.
I wish I had that kind of zest for life.
He's just watching him perform live is just a treat as always. I've seen him like a whole of like I think 2 times live, and he's just as zesty every time.
I just know him from the Vines you sent me, where he's just insane.
I'm obsessed with that man. I'm obsessed with just his existence. I love
Kinky
him
Boots.
So much. Kinky Boots, yes.
Brendon,
oh my god, the fact that he when it announced that he was going to be in Kinky Boots, I screamed. I was so happy about it. Yeah, no, I've been following Panic at the Disco for like ages. Like it's like embarrassing that I will act as my 15-year-old self whenever Panic at the Disco ever just appears in any media, and I'm like, it's them, oh my god,
it's them,
it's Brendon Urie, I love you. Like I love everything about that man.
It's Grayson. Is
Yeah.
that why you like Grayson so much?
Because he reminds me of Brendon Urie. I mean, when Brendon started doing his hair like that, I was like, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Wait.
Because I didn't know who Brendon Urie was until you told me.
Yes.
And you said, hey, this is Grayson. I was like, oh.
And then you saw the boots and you're like, wait.
Excuse.
Why is Grayson there? Why is Grayson physically manifesting? His I'm obsessed with Brendon Urie, and I will have you know that every time I see him in concert, he always finds a way to just end all his shows completely shirtless. I need you to know that.
I'm okay with that. Thank you.
Like it's one of those things where he, like, the last time I saw him was for the Houston Rodeo, like way last year, and he started the entire show in a really nice suit, mind you. He was wearing like this nice like glitter suit, and he was like very done up and very nice. And then like halfway, like through his songs, he just at one point started like, yeah, it's like the lights go down, and all of a sudden he's still wearing the jacket, but there's no shirt, and we're like, okay, how?
Where did it go?
Where did it go, Brendon? What did you do? How did you magic that? And then usually by the time he hits doing a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody, that's when he's just like, you know what? Fuck it, full zest. And you're like, yes, this is allowed. Oh god, he's so much fun to watch in concert. I'm probably gonna spam you with like all of his live shit, like later. You're like,
great.
Look at him. Also, yes, Ash, this is Gogmert. Because I wanted to draw a happy little bard goblin because he's the cutest thing. Shane says that he loves listening to Lindsay Ellis gush about her crush on Kurt Wagner. Valid. Fully valid.
Do you listen to Todd in the Shadows?
No, I don't think I probably might have heard it once.
I don't know if they're still together, but he was actually dating Lindsay for like a long time.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like she shows up in his shows up in his videos every now and then. But he does reviews of music, and he hates pretty much almost everything. But he's always in, like, you only see his silhouette, and he has like a hood on, and he's playing the piano, and he's like, "This is shit." He's great.
It reminds me of that Vine of the dude that's like on that keyboard, just so aggressively singing to suck a yeah.
No, I'm thinking of the guy who's on the keyboard, but he like plays the music to memes.
Yes.
And like vines.
Yes.
And then like he'll always end it like with like a whisper or something creepy.
Oh my god. No, there's a very specific Vine that I'm thinking of, and I'm just like, that reminds me of Grayson.
You need to send it to me.
Oh, I'm
you made me drop my croissant.
You made me
that one. I almost dropped my croissant.
I almost dropped my croissant. Hold please while I go get that. Hold please while I love how the first thing I get is, this video might be inappropriate for some users, and I'm like, I understand.
You're like, yep.
That's the purpose of this Vine.
I know what I'm doing.
I know exactly what I'm doing. Here. Take.
Oh, okay. Hold please, I'll watch it.
That makes me think that's got really big Grayson energy. I'm loving drawing. You know what? I need to make this goblin sleeves poofier. Because bards have good poofy sleeves. As Lynn listens to the Vine that I have so graciously
Sorry,
bestowed.
that was letter.
I mean, yes.
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 So side characters.
Side characters. Just to preface, 90% of my, probably like, I think, no, 75% of my day is finding content that I send to Lynn going, is this Grayson?
Yeah. Or this is the bros.
This is the bros. That's usually our day.
I just realized that my icon in the Google Docs that we have is a little kiwi bird.
It's a kiwi bird? I'm a kiwi bird?
Yeah. I am a kiwi bird.
You're a kiwi bird? Oh, you're a kiwi bird. Oh, you are. I'm a kraken. Oh.
That's not what you are on mine.
What am I on yours?
You're, hold on.
Mine shows a kraken and a kiwi bird.
Nope. Let me see. Nope.
Now I get to draw Gokmert's little hat.
This is what it shows on mine.
Oh, gosh. What is my secret soul animal? Oh! Yep, that's me. That's me. That's my McCree dog. Yeah, that's my Google icon.
Oh, well, there you go. That's probably why it is. Oh, now there's a kraken here. Why? How?
See,
What
yeah,
happened?
see? There's three.
There's a kraken.
Three.
Yeah, why is there three?
Why are there three? Why is there three? Why are there three people on here? I don't understand. There's a third person in our Google Doc, and I don't understand why. I'm very confused. Who has my Google Doc? It shouldn't be public.
So who's your favorite side character? Just in general.
In general? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I have to think about everything now.
The universe.
I have to think about everything that I've ever consumed in the universe.
My thing is though, like, I don't really consider anyone a side character.
Yeah, that's where I fall on that. Well, no, okay, I will say, in more recent things that I've watched, well, in my all-time favorite things, I'm gonna say that, Hohenheim from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood was one of my favorite side characters. Hohenheim, who was, Edward and Alphonse's father.
Yep.
That's a good side character.
Cabin's a good side character.
Yeah, Cabin is a good side character. Speaking of hot dads with glasses.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was going with that.
That was exactly your train of thought. You're like, you mean hot dads with glasses, yes.
Yes, go on.
Continue. My brand. What? I love this little goblin with my whole heart. From other series, I will say, you just recently consumed a new series. You want to talk about that and some of the side characters?
I don't know any of their names because
I don't know any of their names either, but
the side character I really liked was the dog.
You mean
the
Alistair?
dog best friend?
So Lynn has recently consumed, as we call experiencing any form of media now, we're consuming it.
Yes.
Lynn has recently eaten the show Beastars.
I have. Let me.
Yeah, the golden retriever reminds me of Alistair, not gonna lie.
His name's Jack, apparently.
His name's Jack? Oh my god.
Yeah. He's a Labrador retriever.
Aww.
I googled it.
You googled it. I don't know any of the other characters other than Lugosi, Luis, and Haru. And that's all I know.
How about Juno?
What?
Juno?
Juno? Oh, Juno, that's right.
Oh, God, girl's got it bad.
I know, I'm like, woof. Juno
the fact that
scared me. Yeah, Juno
Really?
scared me. Like legit, Juno scared me.
Yeah.
I was afraid she was gonna, like, start eating people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that bug in the back of my head. I'm like, she's gonna fucking eat that rabbit, and I'm scared.
I thought she was gonna eat Louise, or yeah,
That's
Louis.
fair. Louis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a very awkward show to watch because I was giving Vic the rundown as I was watching it, and I was like, oh my god.
What is happening?
And then, yeah, pretty much. And I was like, hey, are they gonna? Yeah, they are. Okay, cool.
Yes. The answer is yes.
God, that whole thing, that whole show just hurt my heart.
It's certainly a wild thing to witness.
And I'm just like, these guys are in school. How do they? You know what? Never mind.
Anime kind of takes high school very intensely.
I can see that. Which,
I don't remember my own high school being that intense.
You know, I kind of wish we could do the high school AU in the Alistair server.
Oh my god.
Just a revamp of it.
Oh
but
my
make
god.
It...
It has to start out with Grayson getting out of his Mercedes and Janda throwing her coffee cup on the car, and it cracks the windshield. That's the perfect start.
Yeah, that's how that happens.
Ah, man. I feel like we can't...
we have so many going on.
We can't do a hard reset because I can't take my mind mentally into that.
Yes.
I can never recreate what happened organically in that RP.
Yeah, that was something.
That's when some things happened that we never went back on. I'm gonna wait for that 30-second delay of hey Ash, hey Ash, wanna pick the colors for Gogmert's Bard outfit? As I wait for that response. Jesus suggested that I think Dis has the Google Doc. That's why we have a third person on here. And now there's no one on here. Len, I'm scared. all the icons just disappeared the second I clicked on it.
Whoopsies.
Oh god. Maroon purple. Like after is maroon purple like after another bard that we know that is not trying to get the hand of Vecna. Spoiler alert. Oh, Shane's excited because high school AU means that Tobias is going to be the same age as everyone else. Yes. Nobody knows what they're getting into with a high school AU.
But from that AU came a lot of side characters turned actual characters.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Blues Brothers came out of that.
Oh yeah, the Blues Brothers. That was fun.
Oof.
Oh my god. I love
Zephyrus, Zero,
and Zipper.
and Zipper. All
and
they
Zipper.
were okay. Were you intending for Zipper to become a protagonist?
No, I really was not. That was certainly something that happened on its own. I think I think I started leaning more into the idea when it was made apparent to me that there was going to be a sequel campaign, and I was like, okay, I need to think of a character for this. And I guess, I don't know, I just started leaning into Zephyr more because it was like, hey, what kind of character are you if I put you in a campaign? And okay, you're a farmer. Farmer means you cultivate the earth. You're a druid because you care about the earth. All right, let's see where that gets you. And then just, it's always fun to take a character who was meant for just a small little something and then building their own story out of it.
Yeah, like Zephyr and Zero were just supposed to be the brothers that were on the beach.
Yeah, like our main joke for Zephyr and Zero was, because Zephyrus is essentially this really big blue tiefling who's like 7 feet tall, and our joke was, but what if his brothers were taller than him? and he's the baby brother. And that was our thing. And so we ran with that joke, and then we made them, and they were all hanging out on the beach, and then we just kind of started developing the family as kind of characters in their own right. Like you had Mama, you had Pa, who just kind of is there. Strong silent tap.
Mama loves him.
Mama loves him so much. He don't say much, but when he do, you listen.
Mm-hmm.
He always.
I know.
Yeah.
I know a side character of yours that I love.
Yes.
Grandfather.
Grandfather. Oh God, yeah, that's right. Ah,
yeah.
That was a fun character to make. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, when trying to develop Zephyr's own story as a protagonist, I had to come up with side characters to help elevate the journey. And so one of them being when you're trying to figure out his motivation and why he is where he is. Okay, he's a druid, so he had to learn his druidic ability from somebody who already is experienced in this, because druids naturally work in circles and they help each other out. They do they aid in the growth of the earth and overseeing the natural order of nature and whatever that means in their circle. And so Zephyr learned from his grandfather, who was this old ancient Furbolg, who was basically like an archdruid who guarded the realm to the Feywild. That was the story that I went with. When he ends up being a character in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, that is certainly sure to change, as will there be a lot of things with Zephyr that'll probably change to fit the storyline for the campaign. Because it's not my world. I'm bringing a character into somebody else's world, so I gotta adjust to the DM's discretion. So that will be that'll be fun to do. I love his little hat.
So how are you changing Phoebus then?
Oh,
we're gonna be. Yeah, so since we're going to be playing that soon, we both are going to be playing some familiar characters in that Tuesday game that we have to kind of alter a bit.
Yes, that's going to be interesting. We are going to be playing in this awesome Ghosts of Saltmarsh adventure that is going to be DM'd by the amazing Shane, which I'm excited for because he's an amazing voice actor, and I can't wait to witness all of the characters that he throws at us. Like, as a DM, I'm always delighted to play in someone else's game because I'm like, yeah, I get to see how they do this. This is fun for me. I like watching other DMs work, but not in the sense of I don't get to do the work, but in the sense of I like seeing other people in their element working in their craft to develop a story in a world for us to interact it with. That's always fun for me to do. Which is why whenever something terrible happens at the Sacred World table, I'm always sitting there like, oh my god. like last night. That was a fun game. We discovered a stone tablet that, our bard Lazuli discovered a stone tablet that had some very interesting depictions on the stone relief of Lamashtu sacrificing things, and there being specific symbols and iconography that are on the tablet itself pertaining to, from my interpretation, that being pertaining to other players that are in the game. Not the actual player characters in the game, but like people that are doing the long con on this whole campaign plot line. People that have their hat in the ring, I will say. That is my interpretation of it. And I saw, Vic, the player, saw a very specific image on the stone tablet, that being a house with chicken legs, and I went, oh, fuck.
A house with chicken legs?
Yeah. That, the only, out of game meta talk, that a house with chicken legs always alludes to the Baba Yaga, who is the OG witch. Who is the
I just imagine Grayson with chicken legs now, thank you.
That's his house.
It's his house, yes.
That's how it all...
I
see, that's how it all ties in. Got it. You motherfucker,
Okay,
that's where you were leading me?
Go over there.
I sense legs, go that way. That bitch is close. Oh my god. Yeah, so yeah, it's one of those things where me and Vic, I am delighted and scared at the same time to see where that takes us. West has no idea what the fuck is happening at any given point. He's just along for the ride and trying his best to understand. God, he's trying his best. But no, yeah, so, yeah, back to, taking side characters and making them main characters. Yeah, we're in a Saltmarsh game that's gonna be run by the awesome Shane. And I'm playing, a little lad that you have all known before in my Hoard of the Dragon Queen, campaign. And, that being the young, Phoebus Gregor Tatterick. Who is Grayson's youngest son. And let's color this loot in. Nobody correct me on what this instrument actually is. I will cry.
It looks like a lute or a lyre.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm gonna call it a lute, and somebody's gonna be like, "It's a lyre, please," and I'll be like, "I'm sorry, I'm not musically inclined."
It's an instrument?
It is a bardic instrument. I spent like 30 minutes looking at bardic instruments because since I'm playing Phoebus is going to be a bard from the College of Whispers, which is fun.
Suiting.
It's so suiting because I was like, okay, so I'm taking this young tiefling boy who it's basically a what if scenario, I'm gonna say, this current Phoebus, because nobody knows what's gonna happen in my game, so who's to say what happens with that family and the characters involved in this cataclysmic event.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, are y'all gonna stop Tiamat? I don't fucking know.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. It's a fair assumption to make. I don't know the decisions that y'all are going to make, and so this is just a one-off good timeline scenario of, hey, Phoebus grows up, and because of Grayson giving him that information about his grandfather, Phoebus wants to pursue that and become the next incarnation of the magpie. But being not as, I guess just not, I didn't want to pursue a full rogue background, and I didn't want to do Arcane Trickster, even though Arcane Trickster is a fucking great subclass. It's a fun subclass, but
I feel like what you chose fits him a lot better.
It does fit him a lot better because I was thinking in the sense of he was noble raised. He's very book smart, and being book smart, he just kind of learned to pick up a little bit of everything as he was going, and became very adaptable. And so it's like, okay, that okay, he's a smart little lad, and he's going to read books, and he's going to learn everything from those books. And so learning everything from those books, he's going to pick up a few instruments. Grayson is musically inclined, so he would have been taught the piano. He also would have picked up a few other instruments, so that's why he has a viol as his chosen instrument to play. This is too dark of a shading. Click, 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 click. And so from there, yeah, so now we have Phoebus, who is off on his first grand adventure to make a name for himself as the second incarnation of the magpie.
And he is just thrilled.
He's so thrilled that he has youngest child syndrome. I am not a baby. Do not baby me. Unless I come home for the weekend, then you may baby me.
That is what is acceptable, thank you.
That is what is acceptable. I'm going out in the world. I'm me and my own man. Don't treat me like a child anymore. I have my own dreams and aspirations. I am not 5 years old like you perpetually think I am. And then he's gonna go out and have his own adventures. And he's gonna come back to his parents and be like, this is what I did. And they'll be like, okay, but you forgot your sweater.
You know how you're successful to the gold.
You're very cold. You're very cold-natured, Phoebus. We know how you get sick in the winter, and it's just like, Dad, please. That's gonna be.
No matter how big he gets, he will always be Grayson's baby.
He's always gonna be the baby. Yes.
The baby boy.
That drives him mad. Dad. I'm gonna have to come up with like another iteration of exasperatingly yelling "Dad," because I've got Zevi. Father. Please. I require.
Father, I have had quite enough.
Father, you are embarrassing yourself.
Oh God.
And then the fight happens. Because then it's, excuse me. I need a word fight between Phoebus and Grayson just to see how that happens.
This is just laughing.
It's just like, you fucking nerds. It's like, I don't have a problem with the other ones. What'd you do? I pillaged an entire village and I sank like 5 ships. Good girl. Shane says that he could play a human Benny in the high school AU.
Oh no. Just a kid with a skin condition.
Please let him. Yeah, he's a kid with a skin condition. He has to constantly go to the nurse because. He's just bones.
Just skin and bones.
He's just. There's no skin, just bones. He's just bones. So who are you drawing over there?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
I like a scruff. I want it.
Give me scruff.
Give it now. Still waiting for Jason to mail me his beard. No, he does not. I'm playing.
Jane, oh my God. Lord.
Father, you're embarrassing yourself. You presume I have shame. How dare you assume I have shame? That shame left me a long time ago when I made that contract with your father. There we go. It's Gogmert.
I love it.
He's a good bard. I gotta give him that hopeful, youthful look in his eye. Actually, I need to... There we go. Perfect.
Love.
There we are. Gogbert the Bard and some dude.
Some guy. Do we want to talk about any side characters from the comic?
Sure.
How much do you want to talk about?
Let me pull up my list of side characters that I totally have. Well, we have the Let me crack that one open. I actually cracked this open today at work, and I was very proud of that moment. Because somebody was like, "Hey, I'm getting this pen set, and I don't know what the line the line looks like on it, and I don't know if it bleeds or not. Can you tell me?" And it was like the exact pen that I was using to write in my Alistair notebook. So I just cracked this baby open, and I'm like, "Look."
Like this
Look
pen.
at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit that I drew. Look at all these notes. You see this? Do you see how nice it looks? Do you see how great the lines are? Do you see how it doesn't bleed through the page? Buy the pen.
Did they buy it?
No.
Oh, well.
Well, no, it was one of those moments where it was like somebody came in, they're like, I'm because of situation, it's like, I'm bored and I need to tap back into my artist roots because I did art in school, but my teacher sucked, so I hated it, but I want to get back into art. What do I do? And I was like, well.
Oh man, that is a lot of.
I know. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Is I just want to start sketching, and I'm like, you could just grab a notebook and a pencil and you're good. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't, like, I literally told him, like, dude, it does not matter what you're drawing, and it doesn't matter what you're drawing with. I mean, in the end, you will find stuff that'll be infinitely better to draw with, but if you just want to draw, then you can draw with, like, a fucking big mechanical pencil and a composition notebook. Like, that's all you need in life.
I prefer mechanical pencils when I sketch.
Me too. I definitely prefer the good old 0.5 millimeters.
Same. Point. The 7's a little too much.
The 7 is a little too crazy for me. I like a good 0.5.
I agree. I also really enjoy my red sketching pencils for my notebook.
Those red sketching pencils are very nice.
Yeah, and then I'll like just kind of sketch over it with like a nice ink pen.
Mm.
Do you prefer ink pen or do you prefer ballpoint?
I've rediscovered my love for gel.
Ah, yeah.
Because the pen I'm using for my notebook is a gel pen, so I'm really liking the I'm liking the flow of it when I'm writing with it. It's very smooth. It's very smooth.
Ugh, so. I remember going to like, you know, the hobby store and like trying to find like sketchbooks, and I'm just sitting there opening every single sketchbook they have.
Run your hand over the. You gotta run your hand over the page. You're like, what are you gonna do?
You're just like, You're like, nope,
not that one. Which, by the way, the sketchbooks, like, if I'm gonna put my, I mean, I'm not gonna say by name where I work. I mean, well, people do know where I work, but the sketchbooks that I have at my place of employment are not great. They are, they say they're like a variety of, like, see, like, you have the sketchbooks, you have the multimedia books, and then you have the vellum. All the paper feels the same. And you're like, are you though? Is it though? Not. Is it? Is it?
I'm very particular about how my paper feels.
Yes,
how thin
same.
or thick it is.
Yes.
And also the texture of it.
Yes. I love me, sometimes I love me a good cardstock paper. Give me that heavy, like, poster paper that I like to draw on that.
My pet peeve is the sketchbooks that when you open them, like, the binding will start to wear, so all your papers fall out. So I always get the spiral.
Yeah, and then I like to get the, like, I'm like, I don't know, like, I always have a bad time with sketchbooks, because I'll buy, like, a sketchbook with the binding, but then the binding starts to break, and then all my pages fall out, but then I get the spirals, and sometimes you get, like, the crappy spirals where you turn the page, and it, like, tears off, and then you get all the paper stuck in the spiral, and then it's just a fucking mess from then on out.
Yeah.
Sketchbooks.
My current notebook is this one. I think I got it at a bookstore, but it's not a spiral. It's like its own binding, but the binding is sewn into it.
Oh, that's nice.
So they don't fall out, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
And I'm like, I can lay the pages flat.
Yeah, that's how my current that's my current notebook right now. It's one of those, like, stay flat notebooks, so it doesn't matter what page I open to, they're gonna be flat. Like, it's very nice. And I've got my Alistair sticker on it. Alright, let me look at chat.
Yeah. Wow, we really did not shut up about sketchbooks.
Look, it's important. It's important to know your sketchbook, to know what you're trying to get out of your sketchbook. If you're just going to be doing pencil, if you're going to be just doing if you're gonna just do line work, like with, like, a lot of ink. Especially if you're gonna do, like, some ink wash, that's always fun. I like painting with India ink. That's a trip to do.
Oh, India ink's the best.
Oh yes. Like, if you just want to get your multimedia to, like, put everything you can in your sketchbook, So sometimes watercolor's fun. I've never truly experienced a good watercolor because I suck at it. But I see people work with it, and it's pure fucking magic. And I think that people that know how to work with watercolor are goddamn wizards. Yes, John? Yes? You have something to say?
He was just walking by, sorry.
Oh, okay. No, that's good. John, we need your opinion. So side characters. Oh, his nickname's Goggy. That's so cute. He did not deserve his fate. Ash, don't tell me that! Don't say that to me, Ash. How dare you? Alright. I'm gonna save these guys. Yeah.
I saved them already.
You saved them? Oh, I'm gonna save them on my end. But no, I will reiterate, it's always good to know what kind of sketchbook you want. Your sketchbook is like, I mean, if we're gonna have a nerd moment, or if we want to have like a pop culture nerd moment, your sketchbook is essentially like your wizard wand. It's gotta fit you.
That's a very good point.
And some guy. Save. Alright, chat, what are we drawing next? Does anyone have any favorite side characters from shows, comic books, graphic novels, movies? Like, it's funny because I was like doing some research on side characters, and the first thing I always find is that that BuzzFeed article where it's just like 20 side characters that were way better than their protagonists.
Oh man.
And that's always an interesting opinion of the side characters are more interesting than the protagonists. And I feel like that mentality comes from, I guess, sometimes whatever it is you're watching, just the writing falls a little flat, or maybe you like the majority opinion is you think that the side character's story is a lot more interesting than the current arc of the story that's going on with the main characters that you've been given. Like for me, if we're going to talk about interesting side characters, there's this little obscure movie that had Kurt Russell in it and Sam Elliott and anyway, so it's called Tombstone. And I thought Doc Holliday was just a goddamn riot through the whole thing. He was like probably my favorite character through the whole thing.
And you're just like, let's focus on that guy.
I mean, Wyatt Earp was like a good character to follow because it's like following the whole thing where the shootout that happened at the OK Corral in Tombstone. Mm-hmm. So that's where that's basically the whole overarching where the story surrounds. It's through that shootout. And Doc Holliday had he had beef with another dude, and he spent the entire movie chasing that beef, and I was like, fuck yes. I love me a man that's petty. It's one of my favorite Western movies to watch. Because I love Westerns.
You excited for that Western werewolf movie?
Oh god, I'm so excited for the Western werewolf movie. It's like my very specific brand. I love werewolves, I love Westerns, please God put them together. Oh man, like I'll probably send you some clips later of Doc Holliday as being a sassy piece of work. Like I think you would absolutely enjoy some of his writing.
Western AU, what?
Yes.
Oh, speaking of, we need to do AU's Part 2.
We do need to do AU's Part 2. Oh yeah, we were talking about Alistair side characters.
Yeah, how much do we want to get into that?
Well, I know it's side characters and NPCs tend to go hand in hand because in a Dungeons and Dragons game, you're essentially the player characters are the protagonists. They're the ones that are changing the story and changing with the story, and they're the ones that you're constantly following. So any NPC that shows up is essentially a side character. Which, yeah. Depending on your DM style, that's accurate. You bring characters in just to help move the story along for your protagonists, and then they're gone forever. Or they will be a reoccurring character that shows up from time to time, maybe like a shopkeep that travels around with the Stegosaurus pulling his tiny little cart, or maybe he's a tavern keeper that that shows up in just about almost every tavern that you show up at in any city, and he's this really big dude who has a magic cleaning rag that just cleans everything. Yes, I like this side character already.
Yep.
It's a good side character. Stop in the name of the law. Stop, you're violating the law. Oh my god, there's a gun. Yes, is this Westerday you? Oh yeah. My god. See, Wyatt Earp had like this really awesome mustache, so you have to work with that. And then Kurt Russell has like fantastic hair. Oh my god, that's where I got West's hair from. I got it from Kurt Russell.
Well, we learned things today.
Tabby! I learned something! West's hair. Yeah. I took it from Kurt Russell. The response was, I thought this was known knowledge. Okay, Cole.
There. He's perfect.
He's perfect. It wasn't known knowledge. I just discovered this myself. Here's this little... He's a young Kurt Russell. Oh my god, he's a beefy Kurt Russell. That's who he is. I love Kurt.
Request to draw West with a handlebar mustache and a cowboy hat.
Yes.
Yes.
I have no comment to what you just said. Tabitha's words will never be known.
How do you?
Yes.
There. Perfect.
So how do I what?
How do you write side characters for the comic versus a D&D game?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of hand in hand, because I treat my D&D writing essentially like pretty much all my writing, like even for personal projects. I'll build a character, kind of give them, like, first get down their look to pat, basically. So if I'll do a quick side character that we already know about, who I am very fond of and can't wait to explore more of. So I'm really excited to learn more about her.
You got those jaw lines down.
Yeah. That's like the first thing I think of, jawline. Oop, that's a little too much line there.
So, like, at least for like a D&D campaign or something,
yeah,
an NPC, you kind of have to think of...
I'm thinking mostly of their purpose.
Yeah, their purpose, and like, if a player interacts with them, they have to have some thing to respond with, I guess. Yeah,
of course. Like, you have your default, your preset responses that you do with every NPC, and then sometimes a response will happen that you don't plan for. Like, it just pops up in mid-conversation and happens organically, and then all of a sudden there's a new twist to this character, and you're like, oh, wait a minute.
But with writing for the comic, you don't have to worry about player characters like asking.
Yeah, that one question.
Yeah, exactly. So do you plan that differently?
In a way, I feel like I mean, now that you mention it, I feel like whenever I am writing for a character for a story, I feel a little more locked in. I feel like I don't have a chance to develop them organically enough, because like the one thing I like about D&D is like you're always being surprised by what's happening in the game. you don't expect somebody to respond a certain way. You don't expect you don't expect a character to act a specific way until like a player character kind of motivates the moment, and you realize that that something can happen a little differently from what you planned that works a little better, and then you hastily make a note in your DM journal, and so you never forget it. Yeah, so I feel like I'm a little bit I have the safety of I don't have to I don't have that I'm having to improvise immediately in case there's a question that I was not prepared for, which I feel like I try to over prepare because me personally, I feel I'm not very good at improv, and I have to take a few seconds to think about it, and I hate taking a few seconds to think because I feel like that stalls the game and that becomes boring for people. Because I'm the best talker, obviously. Obviously,
to me.
Obviously, I am a very eloquent talker, and I totally did not take theater for a good while to fix that. And then it unfixed itself.
Oops.
Whoopsies. I mean, I feel like theater and improv is always a good tool to have, especially so that you could be thinking maybe like a couple of steps ahead of the scene, especially when you're having to play God, what was the name of that one fucking improv game in theater where was it Scenes? Is that what it was called?
I don't know.
I don't know, where you all like, you all get in a circle and somebody starts with an improv scene and you have to go off of it. And like you have to kind of go off of their beat and follow along. And then after a certain amount of seconds, somebody else switches in and then they have to start up off of the same beat, but something completely different. It was a really wild game of improv and it got crazy fast. Chat, if anybody knows what high school theater game I'm talking about, please help a bro out. Because I know this was something that we did, other than sit and play Ninja for like 3 hours. But no, yeah, so so when it comes to, I guess, building characters, I feel a little safer when I'm writing a story because I'm planning... Oh, there's another good boy. I like this boy. I can't wait to write about this boy. He's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, but I feel that I have the safety of I don't have to quickly come up with quickly come up with like a response I wasn't expecting a question for. I have a chance to which with my character writing, it's a lot of what's their purpose to the story? What are they what is it that they're going to I don't like to think of characters as like quest markers, but sometimes you need that in order to build off of the character. So it's like, okay, Sister Sarah, what is she to the story? What is she to Alistair? Alistair's the protagonist, therefore his story feeds off of what she provides. And what she provides is that she's his paladin mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And so that helps into his story.
Did we ever state that outright?
Yes, we did.
Did we?
I think we did. If I'm wrong, then whoops.
I'm just curious. Like, I know we were alluding to it. I just don't know if we ever said about it.
Whoops.
It's not a whoops, it's fine.
Are you sure? You can fire me.
Yeah. No.
Okay. A note from Jesus. Pro tip, spending a few seconds to think is super okay and encouraged. It's anticipation. You're showing the complexity of the story. It's okay. We know it's a lot behind the screen. Don't feel bad about taking a second to think when you're the DM. You played a game in theater, we fucking worked. Tech was free labor for the... Well, okay, there was theater club and then there was theater class. So what I was talking about was theater club. And so theater club, we just sat and fucking played games when we couldn't decide what goddamn show we were doing for the season. Because Our president of the club was a goddamn joke, and I will say that out loud.
Got some beef?
Motherfucker, I hope you're listening. No! Not at all! Oh my god. No.
Uh-huh. You alright over there, bro?
We can talk about it later.
Okay.
This is some dark Vic backstory. It's fine, Jesus knows everything. Yeah, so, I feel validated right now, thank you. Yeah, we did, tech work, question mark. I think our lighting... I think our lighting dude didn't like us touching the lights because half the time people didn't know what they were doing, and then half the time the light would short out and break the bulb, and, well, that was expensive to replace.
Hmm.
We didn't have the best theater department. I mean, if we're gonna have an anecdote about theater real quick, during one of the plays that we were running, which was an offbeat of a Clue. It was like a Walmart brand of Clue, if I'm gonna be real.
Oh well.
It was called The Murderous Mansion of Mr. Uno, and I think it was like during one of the I think it was like during the second night of show when because Tabitha was working sound and light, and I don't remember when it happened, but there was a soundboard that was on a very precarious table. And I think halfway through the show, the table broke, and the whole soundboard collapsed with it.
Oh my god.
So that was the kind of production level we were working with. Which explained why there were such long pauses in our sounds, especially when a gunshot needed to go off.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoops. That was fun. I mean, it was a fun play anyway. It was one of those plays where it was like, there's 6 different endings, and you need to have all of them memorized.
Oh
because
god, that sounds awful.
It was awful because the audience got to choose the ending for the night. So we would, during intermission, because it was a whodunit play, so during intermission, we would have ballot boxes out in the hallway with all the snacks and the drinks, and we would ask the audience, who do you think did it? And then the audience would vote, and whoever they thought did it, we would do that ending for the night. So there was like 6 different endings we had to do.
Yikes.
I mean, it was...
That's a cool idea.
It was a cool idea in practice, and it was also kind of predictable because I played the character that showed up right before intermission started, so when that character showed up before intermission started, that was like really shady, and it's like, we think that person did it. So half the time it was my ending, so I was like, alright, I guess I'm gonna kill everyone in the house and set the house on fire. Bye!
I bet that was cathartic.
It was nice. It's very nice, thank you. I think the best time was when it was everyone believed the cook did it, but the cook never remembered any of his lines, so when it was time for us to do the ending where the cook did it, he just forgot all of his lines in that moment, and he went, son of a bitch! And it was just like, oh, well, I guess we're done. Get the house lights up. Good night, everyone.
God.
Yes. So, side characters, am I right?
Man, what if we did something like that for a comic? Like, pick your own adventure.
Oh no. Oh god, I read a whole thing. I was reading a whole thing about writers being too in tune with their with the internet presence of their work and that deciding how their story ends. I remember reading an entire thing on that.
Oh,
and I was like,
that's kind of interesting.
It's actually really interesting to look through because I've seen, because like you'll have like authors that are like super conscious of like what people are saying about their work, and then that influences how they write the ending. And then there's those that are like very solid. No, this is exactly what's happening, and this is how it's gonna be, and tough shit if you don't like it.
I mean, I feel like that's how it should be anyway.
I mean, yeah, like I feel like it's I'm in the in-between of it's nice to acknowledge that there are people that are, you know, reading what you're writing and putting out and like having a reaction to it. And so like maybe like maybe like once in like a small thing you like write a mention of it, but I probably wouldn't do it in the sense of it's going to change my entire story.
Same.
Yeah. All right, Sister Sarah, I forget what your complexion is half the time. Because I don't have... Who keeps color reference? Not me.
Crazy people.
You know who really didn't keep reference? Me. Because, this is why it's important to reference your own work.
Do we want to talk about this guy? I mean, some people know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, he came from the from the original story, so yeah, let's talk about Jayon. Jayon.
I mean, what's really to tell? He's I think he's one of my favorite NPCs. I haven't gone too far with him.
Yeah.
As far as like background and stuff, but we discussed.
Yeah, we've discussed some things for him, which is it's gonna be fun.
But yeah, I feel like he's at the perfect stage. He's at the perfect stage right now where he's not too fleshed out to where he can still do his own thing.
Yeah, he could
surprise us later.
Yeah, he could always surprise us later. Let me just open a new page in my notebook. Continue talking about him. Yes.
He is a elf.
Yeah.
And he is also of a noble background, and he is he's a paladin along with Alistair. And they were roommates.
They were roommates.
And they were roommates.
So who so Alistair and Jayon were roommates.
They were.
They were. He's got a very angry face going on there. Is he an angry guy?
He's a very angry boy.
Oh.
He's I wouldn't say he's angry, he's just
I mean, I would say I would say it might be a safe thing to talk about vaguely, because it was kind of hinted at in the in the first promo we put out, where he was present at Alistair's knighting.
Yes.
He didn't look very happy about it.
Nope. No, he was not.
Would you say he hates Alistair?
That's a complicated word. Definitely, I guess, jealous.
Jealous, has beef.
He has some beef.
He's got some beef. Ooh. He's gonna be a fun character to write about.
How can anyone be jealous of Alistair? He's a moron.
Of a sweet, simple-minded boy? I can't even imagine. What would Alistair ever do to him? Besides maybe pick him a flower. Make him tea.
Perhaps.
And maybe
we'll find out more about him on our next promo.
Or you know, maybe Alistair was a really considerate roommate that sewed closed all the holes in his socks. And maybe he knitted him a sweater. You know, baked him some cupcakes.
Made him some tea.
Made some tea.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Alistair probably just never stopped talking.
Oh my god.
He's like, he doesn't fucking shut up. Is there a fucking off switch? And then Alistair goes out in the world and he finds someone equally as dumb. And they become friends.
The dumbs.
The himbos.
Yep. I don't know. I don't think I can consider Jayon one of them.
I think Jayon would not consider himself one of them.
No, but he's still part of the Order.
He is a part of the Order. He's essentially a teammate to Alistair in a way.
Mm-hmm. Coworker.
Coworker. Let's see. I'm gonna read chat. Let's see. Oh no, we're already shipping. Oh no.
Who are we shipping?
I
need to hear it.
Alistair and Jayon. Oh, I'm so excited! Our first ship!
Wait, who suggested that? I need to know.
That would be Bexabun.
Oh god.
I'm here for it. I'm all for people excitingly shipping things. Whatever makes you happy, and I'm with Jesus on this. I don't. It's like I don't know how Alistair would respond to being hit on. How would Alistair respond to hit on as I drop my mic?
Oh my god, you sound like a robot.
I am so sorry, microphone. How would Alistair respond to being hit on?
He wouldn't know.
Didn't we have an entire high school AU arc about that?
Yes, he has no idea.
Oh god.
Not a clue.
That's right. Nina bought him a bicycle, asking him on dates, and he was just like, huh?
Huh?
I think you're cool. Yeah, bro, let's braid
Thanks,
each other's
bro.
hair. He calls them bro.
Yep. He sure do.
He sure do.
I do have a lot of art of the two of them, like hanging out and standing next to each other and stuff.
I mean, I think them bird watching together was like the cutest thing.
Oh, him and Nina.
Yeah, him and Nina just bird watching like while class was happening, and
Richard.
everyone Richard, and then everyone
Richard
was like,
the bird's name.
it's like everyone was like on their own like dramatic bullshit, and then Nina and Alistair were just in the corner bird watching out the window. His name's Richard. I was like probably like a good interaction.
There he is.
That's a boy. There's an elven lad. How old is Jayon? Is he a youngin?
In human years, he is. Hold on, let me get his character sheet.
I love that he has a character
20.
sheet. He's 20 in human years.
Yeah, so whatever that equivalent is in.
So he's like probably
Elven years.
like 90 something in elven years?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my god. He's older than Sister Sarah.
But he's not from where the comic is taking place.
Fair.
You remember our little discussion about like just the world in general?
Yes.
He's from the opposite end.
Ah, okay. He's from
the other continent.
Oh, he's from where the you know whats are.
Yes.
Ah, I see. And I'm gonna give Sister Sarah some nice pearl earrings because every good mom needs one. Okay, I'm starting with knowing his age. I'm starting to understand his relationship to Sister Sarah just a bit more. That's I have things to write.
Yeah, so he wasn't around when things happened.
He's just young enough that he missed it.
Exactly.
So he showed up when he showed up when things were just extra shitty. He missed everything, but like stuff was extra shitty.
The aftermath of the shit, yes.
Yeah, the aftermath of the shitstorm. Spoiler alert, there's a shitstorm. I mean, it's not a spoiler. Yeah.
So, he actually kind of watched Alistair grow up.
Ah. That makes for an interesting dynamic, I say.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like a, Okay. I can see where he's coming from. All these fragments that just keep appearing. Like, they just keep showing up on my end, so it's like, the Discord, like, does that thing where, like, the fragments kind of, like, don't disappear, so I gotta, like, wave them off.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. Sister Sarah.
And, does he look like anyone to you, by the way?
Who, me?
Does this character look like anyone that you might know?
Besides another blonde asshole elf?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh! Lynn!
What?
I need him to, calm down.
What do you mean?
Calm down.
You need him to calm down?
I like
or
his...
me.
I like his... I both of you. I like his purple eyes. His lilac-colored eyes.
Yep.
Alright.
And mind you, I've had his character design for like 3 years too.
I know this.
Yeah.
Alright, so, if I wanna... Uh-oh. Something happens on my end. Alright. Alright. So, it is coming up on that time. Should we have chat help us build a quirky side character that may or may not make an appearance at some point?
I think that would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun. So, hey, chat, you want to help us build a quirky side character for the comic? Everybody can start shouting races and classes and I guess one, I don't know, with like a weird trait or something about them.
Mm-hmm. A quirk.
Like a quirky thing. What makes them quirky? So if somebody wants to, if everyone wants to start shouting.
I can't believe you never made that connection, Vic.
No, I never made that connection.
Now you know.
That's wild. Wow. An angry tan elf with blonde hair and lilac eyes.
How about that?
Never would have thought. All right.
And if you get the reference from his name,
Jayon.
Yep. You would possibly know what's going on with him. If you're familiar with the book of The Hunchback of Notre Dame and who Jayon is.
Oh my god, Lynn. Lynn, why?
Because I like doing that kind of stuff.
Oh god, I need you to calm down. Okay, Shane said a gentleman ghost.
Ooh!
A gentleman ghost? Where? I'm like thinking like so excitedly, where the fuck would I put him?
Okay, hear me out, Vic.
Yes, I'm listening.
The bros go on a Scooby-Doo adventure.
Oh god.
Full haunted house style.
I can't believe West Scooby-Doo.
They can do the thing that Scooby and Shaggy do, where Scooby jumps up into Shaggy's arm.
Hold on, I got you. One moment while I get a decent color to work with.
Let me finish him up real fast. This guy, this boy, this man,
this elven lad, who is much older than we anticipated. Or at least I anticipated. So we're just gonna have, I mean, we already have them screaming at stuff. There's just like West.
Ah!
Yeah.
But then they find snacks.
And then they find snacks and they're okay.
Okay, there he is. There's the boy. Man, young man.
This young elven man. We'll do a full render of that drawing in a minute, so that we can draw the gentleman ghost, and then the bros doing the Scooby Doo freak out.
How is he a gentleman ghost?
Yeah, how is he a gentleman ghost? I need some elaboration on this.
He's a good ghost, is what I keep saying. Okay, so he's a good man. I mean, it's not like too far off to believe that paladins can, or like some of them, you know, have ghost powers, or like can speak to spirits of some sort.
I mean,
a gnome gentleman ghost.
A gnome gentleman, can it be 3 gnomes stacked on top of each other? 3 ghost gnomes stacked on top of each other?
To be scarier?
Oh my god. A haunted house on a scary island. Yes. And connecting mutton chops. Okay, so here's what Jeremiah said. So a gentleman ghost, he needs a ghost mustache. Jeremiah says, a gnome barbarian, scared of spiders, but always down to destroy the biggest and baddest monsters when it comes to bugs. So, the fact that they're encountering gnomes makes me feel like they're going somewhere close to Pitter Patter.
Oh no.
We need an adventure in Pitter Patter. So. Alright, gentleman ghost, mustache, top hat, with a monocle. So he's a textbook gentleman. He talks like, yeah, see? That's a gangster, Jeremiah. Oh my god. Those are some excellent ideas. Alright, let me save these people.
Did you save these two?
Almost. I had a moment where my brain stopped working and I forgot a character name. So, alright. I've got them saved now. So let's clear the canvas.
I really like how he turned out. He turned out great.
He turned out very good. He looks very, very... He looks like he's yelling at Alistair to shut the hell up.
Yes, probably.
It's like, you fucking idiot. Can you just shut up? Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Do you want a hug? You look like you need a nap. You want me to make you some tea? Alright, so, I'm gonna just do this real quick over here. Because I think the highlight of our last episode was the bros screaming.
I'd think they'd scream if they saw that. Oh no.
Well, that happened. Like you've got Alistair there. Wait, I'm gonna do the tiny circle eyes. Because that's cuter. And then up here, you're gonna have West.
Oh my god. West, no. Wait here, let me add something.
God damn it!
Wait, I need to make them smaller.
Oh god. Oh god, these poor men.
They're fine.
I love how
It's fine.
West is just ginormous. Those giant fucking gorilla arms. Oh, figure this out. Eh. Eh. Eh.
I think this friendly ghost should literally just be like a war forged with a sheet on it. Oh my god, Wes, you're huge.
He's fucking huge. He's a big boy. We've done the character side by sides. There.
And they both have the same strength, right? I'm pretty sure they do.
They do. They have the same strength, which I think is adorable. Because, like, West can, like, deadlift Alistair, like, in his full plate mail, and then Alistair can just deadlift West.
They're just in constant, like, lifting each other up.
Yeah, bro, they lift each other up. That's correct.
Oh.
There we go. Ah.
Yes.
I love Alistair's little square eyebrows so much. And there's his ponytail. Actually, no, wait. I'm gonna draw Wes like
Oh.
kawaii scared. There we go. Okay. God, West is fucking massive, and I love it.
All right, I'm gonna line this.
All right, go for it. I'm just gonna fix it.
Did you layer check?
No.
God, you're on the line layer, aren't you? Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna make the hands easier. Just little mittens. So, fun fact about our Sacred World game. So every time Ragnar somatically casts Enlarge on West, he's giving him a butt slap.
That's how we did Bardic Inspiration in one of our campaigns.
Oh my god. Phoebus is not butt slapping anyone.
No.
He'll just like look at the group and be like,
I'm sorry,
no.
I don't have proper handwear for that.
Sorry, I'm not wearing gloves right now. He would be such a shit.
Do you like the new layer I made?
Thanks.
No problem. Got you.
Thanks. Alright, so let's look at chat while you line that real quick so I can get an idea of this gentleman ghost. So, gentleman ghost. No, one gnome ghost with a monocle, one gnome ghost with a bow tie, and the last one with fancy boots, all stacked on top of each other.
Great. Love it already.
Shane says a recluse tinkerer who wanted to build a protector automaton and accidentally mistranslated the text, creating a horrifying combination of a shield guardian and a helmed horror. That sounds like fun. His creation killed him, and now his creation roams the grounds of his estate, and he constantly tries to warn wayward strangers of the danger. Please hold on to that character. Great. Hold on to that character for future use, because that is fantastic. Like, I love it. So let me get my little gnome guy over here. So I draw gnomes in a very interesting way. Stop! It's also gonna have like a little tiny tail. Because I don't draw. Who needs feet when you're a ghost?
Oh, can you imagine Grayson without having feet? He'd be like, where are my boots? He'd freak. Where are my boots? Oh no! Hear me out. Reverse ghost, where it's just the legs walking around.
Oh god. There.
Where are my boots? He looked. Oh, come on! If he were a ghost, he'd be very Danny Phantom. Thank you.
I mean, yeah. Handlebar mustache. And his little monocle. And his very tall top hat. Because he's not compensating for anything. Just like a little dandy gnome. Hold on. And even though he's a ghost, he's holding a cane. And he's got his little waistcoat with his little pocket watch chain. These poor bros. Thank you for the new Lerlin.
No problem. Glad I could help.
I appreciate the lair. Wait, no. I'm just drawing another gnome at that point.
There you go, Allie.
Ah. I mean, if Grayson came back as a ghost, it would just be like a very Tim Burton-esque ghost.
Oh god, it would.
Just be all legs.
He would do that thing that Jack Skellington does, where he just lays across the
Just
the graveyard thing. The tombstone. She's like, oh, woe is me. Yep.
Just like this. With those legs.
Actually, hold on. I need to remake Alistair's hair.
Oh, I mean, I feel like you need to witness this right here.
Yep.
Actually, I think I know it'd be funnier. It's just like he's draped like that, and his legs just go like.
He's actually standing.
He's just cracked in half. He's standing up. What was me? No, hold on. This is more accurate. Yeah. There. I fixed it.
Hold on. Let me. Yep.
That needs
the
to
perfect point.
That needs to be like a somatic spell casting for Grayson.
God, his leg is like a weather vane.
The wind blows and it just turns a direction.
Yep. Shane has named this man Doug Dimonome.
Doug Dimonome! I'm Doug Dimonome, owner of the Pitter Patter Dimmadome. And I say stop where you're walking, boys. There's a monstrosity on the loose.
think putting googly eyes on the bros is probably my favorite thing.
God damn it, Allie. That's gonna end up being a sticker at some point. Honestly, I love that I gave him a cane and the cane is like as tall as him.
I approve.
Stop, I say. Stop before you trespass on dangerous property. This definitely needs to be an NPC in the
I feel
game.
like his hat needs to do like this kind of thing.
Yes,
like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Alright, there it is. It's got like a little like a little clock on it.
But it's broken.
Yeah. Yep.
I put a buckle on his hat.
Put a little buckle. I'm gonna put that thing where like the hat top just like falls off. Perfect. Perfect. Then just... Oh, you missed some hands.
Oh, I did.
Alistair, where are your hands? Is that why he's screaming?
Ghost hands!
Bro, I got ghost hands!
There we go.
Oh shit, bro, why do you have ghost hands? There, I'll make the sketch layer. We're gonna do a background. We're gonna do a basic background, guys. Oop, oop, oop. Look at that, It's grass. It's grass there. Look at that, it's grass. And then we're gonna put like a little tombstone in the back. Because they're in a graveyard. Because that's where you find ghosts. You find ghosts in the graveyard, guys.
Ooh, I'm gonna add something in the background as well.
Hell yeah.
What layer are you using, Sketch?
Yeah, I'm using sketch layer for background. See,
Okay.
I got big brain moments. Just not when I not when I not layer check. There. Color, and I'm gonna make the ghost. I'm gonna make them blue. Ghosts are blue. At least in Danny Phantom, they're blue. I don't even care. He's gonna have a little ghostly aura. Stop. These boys are about to get into some right trouble. And then that way I can just do a little thing. Alright, whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh. Sconces. We got sconces.
They're spooky.
I'm reading chat now. Jeremiah says that if Grayson was a ghost, he would have one boot on his ghost tail.
The longest boot.
The longest boot. They say that the that's not a walking cane, that's his ornery stick. This ghost, if nothing else, is a Butch Hartman character. Yes, thank you for tuning in to the fact that I have religiously watched Danny Phantom for years.
You know, the guy who made Danny Phantom, not Butch Hartman, the other one.
Yeah. Yes.
Dang it, I forgot his name.
I couldn't tell you.
Hold on. I follow him on Instagram. I think he's the character designer.
Ooh.
Hold on. Steven Silver.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
He actually does like commissions where he'll like take a picture of you or someone or whoever, and he'll like design you like Danny Phantom, Fairly Odd Parents, or Scooby Doo.
Excuse me.
Because he does the character designs for that new.
You're telling me we can get the bros Scooby Dooified?
By Steven Silver himself, yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I definitely needed to know that information.
No problem. Glad I could help. I'll send you the ad he has on his Facebook. Oh my god, it's okay.
Oh my god, Whiskey.
Come here.
Oh
You're
no.
fine. He has his little toy elephant and he wants to sit up on my lap. He wants to go to bed. Come here.
Oh, Whiskey.
Come here.
Why are you such an old man?
Come on. Here. Is that better? Come here.
He wants to witness.
There you go. He went out of his way to take his blanket out of his little, like, bed out here, and it's now across the floor.
Oh.
I don't know why. You good?
Do
you feel better now?
Right. He wants to be involved in the process.
Yes, he did do the character designs for Kim Possible, so you can get it in Kim Possible.
Ah, nice.
Yeah,
I loved Kim Possible.
Here, let me find his commission ad, and I'll send.
Like I feel like if you looked at like a timeline of stuff that I watched growing up, it definitely makes a lot of sense to some of my art choices. All right, let me.
And they're pretty affordable.
Good, because maybe I want one.
I'm just saying.
I'm saying maybe I want one. Look at those bros. Poor panicked men. Walked into the wrong spooky graveyard. It's because Wes couldn't read the sign. It's like, I feel like we're going the right way. I have no idea what that sign says, but it looks welcoming. And Alistair's like, yeah, I trust you on this. Let's see. West has purple pants. Find that shade of purple to work with.
Always gotta have the purple pants.
Of course he's gotta have his purple pants. I love his purple pants. Yeah. I guess I missed some spots. Then I got colors, booch. Oh. Layer check, bro. Oh, wait, I did like all the way black. That's not what I want. Never do all the way black. Never. Yeah. These bros. A spooky graveyard. Okay. Now it's Alistair's turn. Allie! Oh, that's too pink. A little too pink, bro. A little too pink. Alright. Yeah.
I like how they're both tan bros.
I mean, they spend all the time in the sun. They're always like going on adventures, and I mean, I don't think West has ever like properly slept inside anywhere.
Aw, poor thing.
I know, I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, oh, that's actually sad. Hold on. It's like the
You make sad characters? No.
No, I never make sad characters. What are you talking about? Wait, this would be a little there.
Okay, so I'm on his website. You can get in Clerk style, because he did Clerks, the animated TV show, for a bit.
Yes.
You can do Kim Possible, you can do Danny Phantom, and you can do Scooby-Doo.
Oh man, I don't know which one tickles my fancy more. Wait. Yeah. I'm like, I'm like leaning very much towards the Scooby-Doo style, just because we're drawing this.
I know.
And I'd be like, please, yes, these bros like this.
I don't know if he'll do like OCs. I wonder if it has to be a photo. I can ask him.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if we have like reference, it'll be fine, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What's Champ doing? You punctured a hole in the stuffed elephant, Champ? How dare you?
So that's the thing we can look into
if we really want.
So desire.
I would so frame it. Like my sole purpose for having that art is just so I could frame it and like put it on a wall.
Excuse you? Sneak attack everything?
Alright. Alistair Marvel crossover. Hulk like hairy man's pants. I like your pants too, bro. Want to arm wrestle? Oh my god.
I like how you just gave him like a really hairy arm.
Oh, okay. That was me misinterpreting.
It's fine.
Because I'm used to him wearing his bracers there, so I was like, oh. And I can fix that.
I added Alistair's leg thing.
His leg thing?
Guard.
Oh, he's got a leg guard.
Yeah.
Whoop, that was in the wrong spot. You said leg, and my mind immediately went, yes, leg.
Like what? Yes?
Yes, leg. Yeah, yes. We do leg now, yes? Alright, and then his pants are navy. Yep.
And his leg guard is like a dark maroon.
Alright. It's important to, like, guard your legs, bro.
It's for when he rides horses.
Aw. Practical. Let me get the right maroon color. There. It needs to be darker. When you're trying to hit that sweet spot.
I know. Because who color references, huh?
I don't fucking color swatch for shit.
Yeah. We should probably have one of those.
Yeah, it's close enough.
And that's what I say every single time.
It's fucking close
Every
enough.
time I draw Grayson, I'm like, God, I have to like find that sweet spot for his skin color.
You're like, I guess. And what color were his boots? They were brown?
They're just brown, yeah.
Yeah, it's brown boots, okay. Yeah, that's color swatching is a level of preparedness that I never have. So I'm gonna just eyeball it. And then it'll change every time. And I'll just have to live with that. There we go.
That's perfect.
They're perfect. These boys. And another great moment from the Alistair comic. That's certainly an adventure that they would have. Alright, I'm gonna save this.
Whiskey.
Yes, Whiskey! You have some input you would like to give?
He wants me to pet him.
Oh.
He keeps nudging at my hand. Like, give pets.
Give pets now, please.
You so bad.
Oh my god. Whiskey, it's not always about you.
He made a wheezing sound.
Okay. Okay, before I save this, I feel like we need to have something written on the tombstone, because we just have a blank tombstone.
I was actually thinking about that. I was gonna put...
Go for it.
Okay.
No, just go for it. Just go for it. I'm ready to see this.
Hold on. Whiskey, stop giving me kisses.
Oh, he's a lovey boy.
Whiskey, stop it. You can't do that. Stop it.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
I love this. Thanks.
I love it so much.
Save it now.
This is the best. This is one of the best bro adventures. Doug Dimonome.
Doug Dimonome.
Doug Dimonome in the bros. Oh my god.
We did it. This was fantastic.
We did it. Another successful.
Keep your eyes.
Yes.
Keep your eyes out for Doug Dimonome in the Alistair comic. Eventually, maybe.
Yes. That won't be his name, but yes.
The
bros are gonna get
copyright.
Because copyright. Yeah, the bros are gonna just end up getting a quest where it's just like, rumor has it that there's a ghost that wanders the halls of a haunted mansion on an island in the middle of a swamp.
And they'll just show this image and be like, let's not go there.
Oh, let's not go there. Ah! On their many, many adventures that they will have through this entire comic.
Y'all in for a treat.
Oh god, it's gonna be.
And we have
we have what?
We have a special announcement on Monday. So
yes, we do.
And if you're not part of the Patreon, you will also get the webtoons release of what the patrons got.
Bless you. As Tabitha sneezes in the background. See? She sneezed, so it's the truth. Yeah. So, at least that's what my old my old store manager from Jersey used to tell me.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, hey, it's a thing. I guess up in the north where things exist. I guess I don't know.
Goodness, Whiskey.
My God, Whiskey. He wants to go to bed. Right. So yeah, special announcement on Monday. Plus, Webtoon. The comic will be the promo comic will be available on Webtoons on Monday. I believe that's what we said.
Yes.
Yes, that is what we said. It is 12:42 a.m. And
which means it's almost 2 for me.
It is almost 2 a.m. for Lynn, and Lynn needs to go tuck into the hole in Jesus's wall on a little bed of foam insulation that was stolen from the walls. Yes. It's a good nesting material.
Yes, of course.
All right, guys, it's been fun as always. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for always giving us lots of inspiration, lots of things to talk about, and to, of course, draw for all of your entertainments. We hope you had fun. Oh, Jesus says that he added hay in your little hovel for warmth.
Oh, thank you.
It's very, very considerate of you. Very considerate. So
Thank you, I
don't,
appreciate
if you
it.
find some chewed wires, that was just Lynn.
Fire hazard.
It's a fire hazard. Just, it was Lynn confusing it for colorful spaghetti. So don't worry about it.
Funfetti spaghetti.
All right. So first Nolene and now Doug Dimonome. Yep, that's correct. If this keeps up, Shane's gonna need a writer's credit. Hey, bro.
Coming after your brand.
It's coming after my job. Wow, what did it? He came up with 2 whole characters. What do I got? Oh my god, I'm a sham. I need to go crawl into my crypt. And sleep that loss off.
There you go.
A what? Oh, I gotta help Tabitha first with a thing. Can I say what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I can say what it is? Cool. So, earlier Tabitha was doing laundry, and as laundry goes for apartment complexes that don't have washer... Well, we have a washer-dryer hookup, but we're cheap and we can't afford one, so we use the on-site facility. Tabitha went to go get laundry, but came back empty-handed because there were 3 cockroaches on the door to the laundromat. 5?
1 flew.
And 1 flew. Okay, that's excessive.
So how are you gonna help this situation?
Thanks, Lynn. I don't know.
What did Lynn say?
Lynn said that it's unknown how I'm going to help the situation.
Because
Besides screaming at it.
I'm gonna definitely scream at it. So...
Use your barbarian roar.
I will use my barbarian roar and
It's all fun and
cry.
games.
Yeah, it's all
Cry
fun.
at it.
It's all fun and games until it's my barbarian rage cry. Yes. Yeah, it's all fun and games till the roach flies. So I hope everyone has a good night. Thank you all for joining. Join us on the Alistair Patreon. Is subscribe for as little as $1 a month to join us on this incredible journey of creating a webcomic. And
We've been doing it for like over a year now.
We've been doing it for a year now, and we are excited for the launch.
I can't believe it.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. As always, we have merch. You can check out all of our links down below. Our friends at Talon and Claw. We've got a merch store where you can get the Alistair symbol of the Holy Bro on a shirt, on a mug, on a sticker, on whatever you want. And yeah. So just stay tuned. If you join us on the Alistair Patreon, you get access to the Discord. So if you have access to the Discord, that means you get to vote for what our next topic will be that we get to draw about and create stuff. So
And RP with us.
And RP with us. As a ship is currently under attack by another pirate ship, and drama's happening in the employee break room that I think Dis is ill-equipped to handle.
Don't worry.
At least emotionally.
Oh, well, fair.
Yeah.
He's that meme where someone's patting them with a broom and just says they're there.
They're there. Except he's like hitting them with the broom. Like he's full on whacking them with the broom.
They're
Stop
there.
fucking crying. Stop fucking crying. So, all right, guys. Good night. And as always, hang loose and stay righteous. See you next time.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.